Oh, good. Hello. Hi. How's it going, everyone? It is a new day. It is a new world. It is a new time in the United States of America, the free world. Here we go. Let's talk about the stock market. Let's talk about two stocks in particular here, and we'll maybe mention a few more. But, wow, what can we say here? What a crazy 24 hours. Trump took the election, made history. I don't think I need to repeat all of it because I think we all know at this point, but just wow, crazy. So with that, let's go right into DJT and what is going on here. Even after hours, the stock is finding itself selling off here. So, last night as the election was going and, as states were getting called for Trump, the stock was it was just going freaking ballistic last night. I mean, it was almost at $50 last night by 10 o'clock at night. So, and then finally, pre-market got pretty much shut down. So then this morning, I'm going to be honest, I was like, okay, here we go. We've got some high volume. The stock is still running right under 40, 39, 40, just going back and forth. Then what starts happening? I mean, just minutes into the market opening here with DJT, they start halting it. I counted 4 halts. Somebody told me they halted it 7 times a day, which they could have. I lost track of it. And it just killed the momentum. Once again, they were onto it. And this is the thing. They were sitting there waiting for it because we knew that this was happening last night. Trump won the election. We knew the stock was going to go crazy, and people were betting on this situation, and it got halted. So you can't tell me this wasn't forcefully done, that somebody wasn't there halting this thing, watching it. So with that said, this is still a very interesting situation. Now that Trump has won the election, we can breathe a little bit with this stock. If you're heavy in it right now, if you're sitting at like 40, 45, maybe in the 50s, I still... Don't freak out at this point, and let's talk about why. So obviously tomorrow Jerome Powell will be coming out. He will be talking about rate cuts. We're expecting heavy rate cuts tomorrow, so the stocks like SoFi will probably fly up to $13. We could see a $13 price mark in SoFi tomorrow. That's a very real situation that could happen here within 24 hours. With that too, Trump has won the election. Kamala succeeded today. She said, hey, it's done. You won. Now with that, we still have 2 months for, before Trump takes office here. So we still have 2 months before Trump takes office here, which I'm very curious to see what's going to happen in that time zone. And kind of what I'm thinking here, what's going to happen. Obviously, I think the market's going to keep running here. And with that, if we do see, which we're expecting at this point, to see a rate cut tomorrow, the market should bounce off that. It should be a good day tomorrow in the market. It should continue to rise here. I mean, the S&P 500 went crazy today. Bitcoin off the chain. I mean, just crazy. Just insane. So, right now with I think it's safe to say we're holding a $35, $34 zone here, safe with Trump media here. Now, I think this is going to be a very safe stock up until January. But in this month, November and December, it's going to be very hectic at that too. So the biggest issue right now is halting. They're halting the stock. So every time the stock tries to do something with massive amount of volume that should drive up the stock, it gets halted. So huge problem. With that, here's the other situation. This week should be pretty good in the market unless there are some more meetings tomorrow that we could see negative news. But the market is betting on Trump right now so much, it's kind of hard to see the market really taking a huge dump here. But I do expect a little sell-off here somewhere towards the end of November, somewhere towards the end of December, especially towards the end of December, because people are going to be trying to, unload their bags, take credit, take profit, and people need Christmas money. So what I'm betting on with the stock right now with DJT, and this may sound a little cutthroat, but this is kind of where I see the stock right now, and kind of where I'm at mentally with it right now. I'm going to see if it bleeds off here. I'm going to see if it sells off here. No one knows what it's going to do here, okay? We just don't know. The stock could shoot up to $45 tomorrow, or it could shoot back down to $25 tomorrow. It's hard to say. We've never seen a stock like this. This stock right now is not running. It's still not running on performance of quarterlies, price analysis of debt ratio, what it's bringing in. None of that stuff really exists right now. Okay, but that will come. That will come. Okay, and this company, the stock just became a lot more interesting, okay? A lot more interesting. With that too, my plan in this is to see how much the stock bleeds off here. I would be very curious to see by the end of November, maybe somewhere in that December range where I talked about, the stock would bleed back down to $20, maybe to $15. I think that's a very real possibility. That's not me being mean. It's just me saying like, hey, people are going to take profit. People are going to get impatient. They're going to want money, and they're going to panic sell, or they're going to take profit, whatever happens here. And it's going to lose a little steam. It's and still Biden's in office. So, it's the holidays. People are going to take their money. They're going to get it. With that, what's coming in January? Trump's coming in January, the big day, inauguration. So I do suspect that in January, when we get out of December into 2025 into January here, this stock is going to run hard. I mean, I think we're definitely going to see the 50s and 60s easily. That is the low ground with the stock. Okay? It's in this little bit of time frame right now where you really want to decide if you're willing to wait, or if you're wanting to play with fire right now, jump in here, slice off a little, get out, jump in there, slice off a little more, jump out. And maybe you have to buy your way out of it a little more, okay? Maybe you have enough capital where you can buy high and hold it, and just wait to see what happens, get stuck in it. Who knows? But me personally, I'm going to wait and watch and see how much the stock bleeds off. There will be a sell-off in it. Don't be naive that there won't be. There's going to be a sell-off in it. Now, after January, we'll see what those prices bring. How high can this go? We're still dealing with halting. They're not going to stop it. But if we can see a nice, steady climb, and that's what I saw these past 2 weeks, that was the main issue that I saw with this stock. Why we got so high last week with this stock when it went to $56, it's because it was a slow, gradual climb. And they couldn't really halt it when it was growing slowly. 3 weeks ago, that Thursday, Friday, it started to show momentum going from 28 to 33 to 36. Monday went from mid 30s to 40s. Next day, that's when we got into, a almost $12 jump into, a mid $55 range, mid 50 range, going from 55, 56. And then the mass sell-off came last week. So, if we can bleed it back, if it bleeds back down here, we can get it. If it gets that low, we can get it that low. Okay, it's gonna start to go again. So, don't get too panicked here. If you're like, I don't want to miss it. Don't get panicked here. Okay, this is not the time to panic. We're good. You won. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay, we could be easily having the conversation right now like, hey, you need it's done. This stock could be at $5 right now. That's what I've been telling people for the whole year essentially, but especially the last 3 weeks, like, hey, if Trump does not win this election, this thing's going to $5 to $10 because they're going to go after it. I mean, you already see what's going on out there right now with Trump winning the election, how they're handling this. I mean, they want blood. So you can only imagine what they would have done to this company. That is kind of that's my thought process right now. Everyone's going to do what they want to do. You do what you want to do. That's great. But I'm gonna see what happens here. Even if the stock has a good day and it runs back to 50, I'm okay with that. I'm okay because I want to see it bleed. I want to see people forget about it for a moment. I want to see people get bored. I want to see people panic and sell out of it. I want your cheap shares. I want them. So I'm looking to jump back in here, but I'm looking to jump back in here around 20, 15. Do you think we're going to go back to 12? Maybe. Maybe we'll have a bad day in the market here towards the end of November. The stock market, the S&P 500, is at an all-time high. Can it support this going into January with Trump's inauguration? I doubt it. I think people are going to start taking profit here. Big earnings season is pretty much done. Just, that's the main thing I would tell someone. And that's what I've told some friends today. Like, I just personally wouldn't panic. I wouldn't panic right now. If you're like, I got to get in. You do what you want to do, but I'm going to watch what happens here. I'm going to watch what happens because I'm comfortable right now. But the main thing with this story is take a breath. We're in a good position right now. Trump won the election in a very good position with this stock. If you're bag holding in it, you may be here a moment bag holding, depending how high you are in it. But two, if you hit a profit range with this in this week or next week, because this could still run into next week very well, don't be afraid to take profit. Because more than likely, there is going to be a sell-off here before January. This thing is going to bleed down before January. Do not be shocked of that. That is what we've been seeing all year with this stock. This stock all year it's gone from a $35 zone to a $20 zone. Days later, it's back up into a $38 zone. Days from there, it's back to a $31 range, and then it goes to a $40. This stock right now is highly manipulated, okay? The biggest issue we're dealing with at this point is that they're watching it and they are halting it. They've got its ticket, they're watching it. They don't want it to run. They're using their same old excuse, blah, blah, blah. But January is where I'm really looking. That's where I want to be, in January. When Trump gets inaugurated, everyone's like, oh my God, this is historic. Trump media, it's posting, it's talking about it. Trump at that point becomes more in charge of the general media. Trump media itself, technology group here that we're talking about, is getting more spread out. It's out in the mainstream. Elon with X is pushing it. It's going to look different. In 2 months from now, things are going to start to look different with this stock. Then when we get past January, then we start looking at quarterlies. Then now you're investing. Now you're taking risk. Now you're taking chances. Then people are going to go, well, how much money are they making? What's their plan here? What are they doing? Is Elon going to maybe push the company? What's going on here? Those are the conversations that will start to arise here after Trump gets inaugurated here in January. So, that's the feeling right now. SoundHound. Let's talk about SoundHound. I've made a few videos about SoundHound, but I want to be clear as mud here how I feel about SoundHound. I am in SoundHound. I am in profit zone. I am deep in it. I have bought as much as I can afford at this point of SoundHound, because I truly believe SoundHound has the potential to be the dark horse into 2025 with AI, especially when we get into a market next year and we could potentially see AI do a whole nother run leading the market way. I'm looking at SoundHound here, okay? Not to mention that NVIDIA and SoundHound are partners, okay? It's, back the beginning of this year, NVIDIA made a deal with SoundHound that, they bought they went into business with them. They bought a lot of SoundHound, okay? So they made a stake in the company. So they're working together, okay? Now, there is a rumor out there that NVIDIA could buy SoundHound. Could that happen? Sure, it could happen, but it's just whispers right now. It's just from ear to ear whispers. Would it be nice? Of course it'd be nice, because your SoundHound shares would become NVIDIA shares if NVIDIA bought SoundHound. So it would be a win-win regardless. I don't think anybody would complain about that. But the situation is right now with SoundHound, have all their quarterlies been fantastic? No, they've been a little up and down, but what we've seen is growth. There's still, every time we see a quarterly, it's growing from what it was. SoundHound at this point is projected to go into 2025 to double their revenue at this point, okay? This is a very growing company. It's an old company, but in the past few years, especially this year, they've been getting a lot of attention, okay? Especially with the AI boom right now in the stock market, and we're about to go right back into another one. You better believe it. So with that, when we see that again, investors are going to be looking for cheap AI stocks. It's only a matter of time before SoundHound here starts to get recognized and starts to get very expensive. And of course, I put some things on here that you can look at right now, but I truly believe that SoundHound is but one big deal away from turning into a double-digit stock, okay? Now, SoundHound as an AI company, they're not bringing in, NVIDIA quarterlies here. They're not bringing in Palantir quarterlies, okay? That's not what we're talking about here. It is a very small in the realm. It's a lot smaller in those type of realms, okay? But nonetheless, it is a very unique AI company that is doing its own thing, much like Palantir, where it's focusing on one thing and it's trying to do that the best it can. SoundHound will be releasing quarterlies here 6 days from now on the 12th, okay? So these quarterlies are going to be a telltale sign of what's going on still. Now, we've already seen just face melting quarterlies here with a lot of AI stocks here this year, especially these last few quarterlies. Here's the situation. I'm not telling you to buy SoundHound, but what I'm telling you is to not let this disappear from your site, okay? This is an AI company you need to be watching, okay? This is going to be something that if you do not watch it, it's going to get away from you. Either way, the future with SoundHound is bright, okay? It may take 6 to 8 more months, but SoundHound will be at an $8 to $10 price target on it, okay? It will turn into a double-digit stock here very soon. It's just a matter of time as they keep releasing these quarterlies here and we get into this other zeitgeist and just feeding frenzy of an AI market, a bull run in the market here. I really do think they're one big deal away. If we see them capture or get some kind of big deal, the stock is going to jump up again, and I think it's going to run off momentum off that. It's only this year that the stock has been running at these $6 to $5 marks here. When NVIDIA made that deal, the stock almost went to $10 just off that deal alone. So imagine if they captured an organic deal. Imagine if they got some kind of government contract deal, something like that. Imagine if they captured the biggest deal they've ever seen, even a slice of what Palantir gets from these government contracts. Imagine if SoundHound got, let's say like a $500 million contract with, X company. That would be huge, okay? That would be huge for them. It's not a lot in the realm of AI talk from what we're seeing with these other AI companies. That's just change in the pocket for like NVIDIA or Palantir at this point. But it's a great start, and it's a great start when you're in so low with an AI company. So friends, like I said, I'm not telling you to buy SoundHound, but I want to start talking about SoundHound more here, okay? Because I truly believe, like I said, it's going to be the dark horse of 2025. I was talking about SoundHound months ago when it was at, a high $3 mark, mid-4, right in the mid-4s. It's almost at $6 now, okay? Quarterlies are next week, essentially. Don't let this out of your sight. I really mean that. Don't let this out of your sight. I'm not saying it's the next Palantir. I'm not saying it's the next NVIDIA. But what I'm saying is this is going to be a start to a good company here with some heavy growth here potentially this coming year. So there's still some kinks. It's not 100% safe at this point. If you like risk, you like taking a risk in the market, getting in somewhere cheap, you need to pay attention to SoundHound here, okay? The very unique situation. Friends, I wish all of you the best of luck. I will be back tomorrow talking about what is going on. We should see rate cuts tomorrow. SoFi should have a pretty decent day tomorrow, at least probably up till noon, 1 o'clock. Up to Jerome Powell talking. As long as Jerome Powell doesn't say anything awful, the market should stay pretty decent, I would imagine. But it is hard to say too. So, congratulations to everybody that made a ton of money these past 2 weeks. Today, if you're not up in your portfolio, it's kind of hard to believe. I'm sure people can be down in some places, but I think the majority of us, even if you were buying Palantir just, days ago, you should be up in Palantir at this point, even SoFi. Friends, have a great night. Have a great day. I will talk to you later. Bye, everyone.